Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Free Enterprise friendos, and welcome to the late night edition of Free Enterprise's Lali-Ho League between Gambit017 and PeasantsOMFG. I'm your co-commentator, Oscar424, and as soon as I'm done talking, I'm going to stop doing the chill voice and go into the hype voice. But with me as well is the wonderful Sheep Launcher. Sheep, how are you doing?
I can't do a legit chill voice. I'm legitimately hyped for this one. Gambit017, the Wizard of the West versus Peasants FG, the Wonder from Down Under. They're both 3-1. The winner gets to go to the brackets, while the other one has to sweat it out another week. This is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah, I couldn't do that chill voice for that. Just no. Anyway, yeah, it's this is gonna be there's a lot on this match. Straight up, like you said, someone is punching their tickets to brackets today, and looking at our objectives and starting character, we've got a very bright Cecil that we're starting with, but he also has to defeat himself and get betrayed. So these are some kind of spicy objectives.
Yeah, we have the potential for a mirror match with defeat the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight can be a really tricky boss and a really annoying boss, depending on where he ends up. He has the nickname Pain Man for a reason. At the wrong spot, he will make your life miserable. Luckily, the free bosses, quote unquote, free bosses flag is on, where if you can withstand 3 dark waves, he gives a speech and he falls over. But if he's at a really rude, fast spot, that could be a nice roadblock for our runners. And of course, getting Kane, Cecil's best buddy and best betrayer, you only have to do 4 of these 5 objectives, but depending on where that Dark Knight ends up and where those key items are, we could be in for a fun one.
Yeah, and plus, with the Dark Knight Cecil as our starting character, we are very likely going to see our runners at some point tackle mount ordeals. Dark Knight Cecil, some people are gutsy enough to take him all the way, but yeah, with so many good weapons, you're definitely going to be seeing that conversion to Paladin, especially if we get, say, like a Tela, so we can have a Tela that's more than just an exit bot. So, but with that, we are getting started this wonderful morning or afternoon or evening or what have you. And it looks like Cecil is starting by himself. So it's just going to be Cecil. And oh, hi. So this just got real fast here. That magma key start, we immediately have underground access.
Yep, the Calbrena dolls give us the magma key. Rydia starts with 30 HP, needs some help to get going, but there's access to a Hob summon, and both our runners have access to a free key item down in the Fame Arch right away, should they choose to go get it.
Yeah, and with that Dark Knight Cecil, there is a, I believe, 1 in 3 chance that they're going to be starting off with the Black Sword, or the Darkness Blade, and other iterations. If Cecil does get that Black Sword, that's going to be a little bit extra damage that we're going to need right now, because honestly, DKC and Rydia, not the greatest of starts, per se.
No, they're going to need some help to get going. Peasants is looting the Watery Pass, hoping to find some J items to help them get going. Meanwhile, Gambit going immediately to Agar to drop the key in the well and do some shopping.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame Gambit on this play right here, because another thing that our runners are going to be looking for are the lovely, lovely sirens. That's going to be our, hopefully, if the sirens are in the seed, our guaranteed grind at some point. But yeah, they're gated. So anything underground, on the moon, or potentially that hook route if for some reason our runners decide to go that way, yeah, that's something he's going to be looking for too.
Yeah, the Magma Key opens up 3 of those gated shops in Tomra, Baymarch, and the Dwarf Castle. I don't know if you noticed, Peasants picked up a crystal ring, a very nice piece of equipment that I think he's going to want to put on that Rydia if he has any intention of keeping her upright.
For sure, that is a fantastic item to find. I mean, with our runners, they're going to be looking for things like those crystal rings. That Sylph Summon's really nice for Rydia. Cursed rings, heroine robes have been just massive in the Swiss rounds. Same thing with tiaras. Basically, female armor is on point today, or just in general right now currently. But we see, speaking of crystal, Gambit has found the printing money armor, if you will, the crystal suit, I guess, in Dwarf Castle, along with a black robe. That's going to be really nice for Rydia or any black mage of his choosing.
Yeah, the crystal armor is for sale in Dwarf Castle, which is the wrong end of the exchange. You can't really print money if you have to spend money to get it. Coffins in Dwarf Castle are very useful.
Yeah, that's going to be great for certain grinds and certain bosses that don't have the boss bit. Here's looking at you, Dark Imps.
Very true. Also, Baron guards, Kaipo guards. Coffins can take care of any of those quote-unquote bosses that do not have the boss bit. Gambit is going to continue his underground shopping tour.
Yeah, I'd honestly not be surprised if we don't see any bosses for a while. I could see our runners definitely making the shop round, seeing what they can find, and then tackling whatever they decide to tackle first. Most likely above ground, unless they find a really free fight somewhere.
Yeah, this Seed of Free Enterprise is going to look a bit more like Stardew Valley for now.
And aerospace, something dark side.
An aerospace something technician I saw.
Basically, smart person job.
Yeah. Trying to go to space today.
Ooh, we do have Bacchus wines in Tamra, so if we have a Zerg team, that's going to be a great find. Meanwhile, peasants, they're going to be showing us that free march chest in the near future.
Yeah, it seems like it would serve Gambit well to keep those Bacchuses in mind. We've been seeing a lot of Zerg teams in these flags because equipment is kind of readily available. You can get your punchers some levels, and you know there's a cane somewhere in this seed. So Gambit, I think, would be well served remembering that Tamra has those wines. Meanwhile, peasants found the hook in the Feymarch chest and peeked the Feymarch bosses. It's some kind of Lunar Sparkle and an Octoman.
Yeah, that Lunar Sparkle Leviathan could be very dangerous, especially if it's one of the more punchy ones, like, I don't know, Ogo. Octoman, I don't really have any thoughts on that because that's a skill level that is well below my actual level. But I just think it's rude and walk away. Especially because I haven't taken a fight yet. Though Gambit does something very interesting. He did find the monster chest in the Feymarch Caves. Words are hard tonight. So that means Gambit's able to free loot anything and everything that he finds in here before he picks up his hook and sees those bosses.
So the hook might seem kind of redundant because we already have underground access with the Magna Key, but the hook does give us a check of the Evelyn character, and since we are doing a character check, it would behoove our runners to go see who's down there. It also gives us a check at who's at the Rubicante spot, and it gives us access to another gated shop, and the Evelyn shop has 2 of the higher tier items, so it's quite likely that the sirens may be down there.
Yeah, because especially I haven't seen sirens. I don't know if you've seen them, and I was just looking at my dog or something, but we still haven't found them yet. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if our runners said, you know what? I still don't want to take a boss fight. I'm going to go see what they have over there.
I think now would be a great time to take a look at that hook character. The only thing that might give our runners pause is the lack of an option to exit quickly out of there. But considering it's still early in the seed, I think depending on which character is there, would benefit greatly from some early game experience, and just to give this Dark Knight Cecil and Rydia a little bit of a hand to get some levels under the belts.
Oh, completely agreed. I mean, this team definitely has potential. DKC, when becomes a paladin. Oh, and actually Gambit is showing us our Lunar Sparkle and Leviathan spot, and it's my least favorite Lunar Sparkle. It's cheesable, yes, I know, but I hate Plague. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it.
Plague is annoying, and especially in the Leviathan spot. It's a fairly speedy spot, so Plague will get off the count unless your anchoring is really good, will likely get off a count before you can get off a Star Veil to cheese it very easily. So Plague is doable in that spot, but not right now.
Yeah, and as Gambit shows us one of the true final bosses of Free Enterprise, the NPC boss, Peasants has gotten the hovercraft, so after doing a quick check and see who's having a pool party date, it looks like those Dark Imps. I wouldn't be surprised if Peasants actually heads to the hookup to see what is over there.
Gambit, meanwhile, going to do something Peasants didn't do, and that is check in on Yang in the Silk Cave.
Oh, that's actually a brilliant play on Gambit's part.
And going to try and sneak in a chest or two in the Silk Cave. The Silk Cave untrapped chests do have good loot because there are 6 trapped chests down here, none of which his party is equipped to handle. So just a quick check of that. One chest, disappointingly for him, it's Medusa arrows.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind the extra looting, especially with this team right now. It's just, yeah, anything and everything to help this team get through up until they get another character or that paladin. And oh, so about those sirens, and wow, that's sirens, life pots. That's this is why you check the hook route shop, ladies and gentlemen.
Once again, the Evelyn hook route shop has the goods. Oh yeah.
Meanwhile,
Gambit going to check the
go for it.
That summon on Mount Hobbs. In vanilla game, Rydia learns Fire 1 here. Here we replace it with a random summon. This time it's Miss.
Oh boy, that's just that.
Wow. The hook has the goods.
Okay. Okay, so let's unpack this, shall we? So Kane, that's a requirement.
Yes.
So 10 minutes in without literally doing much of anything.
With no battle spot at all.
Battle spot. We have an objective complete. But we have also found our Dark Knight Cecil. And that is not a good place you want to see Dark Knight Cecil.
No. DKC in the Ruby spot will go fast, will hit hard. And there's still a boss in the King Queen Evelyn spot that could that could also pose its own problems. Say Ogopogo or Evil Wall in that spot will be massively hurtful. So Peasants has the knowledge now, but can't be especially happy with the placement of that DKC.
I've never been so sad to see an Evil Wall as I have right now. I know, Galahad, I agree. That was disappointing.
Evil Wall staring against Yang on the top of Mount Hobbs. Gambit will take this fight. And we're finally getting some combat. Gets a decent roll on that Grimoire.
Yeah, did you know you could actually fight bosses in this game? I didn't.
It's news to me. But luckily Gambit did not forget.
And to comment on something Jason Nellis said in chat, yes, in this case, Magma Key was bait. Although you needed the Magma Key to get the hook, Magma Key is still bait, y'all.
Peasants heading down with those sirens he picked up is going to get going on that. At least to get Rydia a few levels. And that can.
Yeah, I'm not upset with this. Again, this team's a little sketchy right now, and even though our Dark Knight Cecil will lose all of these levels when he becomes Paladin, it's still nice to get some levels on your other two characters, especially that. Okay, fine, that Rydia, because she's useless otherwise.
Rydia gained 18 levels from 1 egg.
I'm proud of her.
And Peasants picked up a self-summon from somewhere, and so that means Rydia might carry this team in the early game.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice little heal summon to have, as long as Rydia isn't in the middle spot. She can cast, as long as she has the MP for it, she can cast as many times as she wants, and doesn't use MP for it because logic. But speaking of logic, here's a logical check from Gambit, finding a Lunar Sparkle, which just happens to be a Paladin.
Gambit loaded that Yong for Bear. Yong, of course, all he really needs is levels, but he can be helped by equipment, and Gambit has double Poison Claw on him, a bandana, a karate robe, and a Zeus gauntlet. So, although Yong won't be doing Bafo damage right now, he'll be doing good enough damage, and it's only going to get better as he goes on.
Agreed, and Peasants has decided to not go to Antlion just yet, and is instead going to be defending Fabul from from a fight you really don't want to see in Fabul defense. Just saying.
Nope. King Queen Evelyn, as free as it gets. All they
piece of
do.
candy.
That's rock candy. You don't want to bite that, Asuka. I don't know if anybody's told you that.
Oh. Can't eat it with a spoon?
You know, does your dentist have a boat payment coming up?
My dentist just looks at me and cries. And then his wallet gets very fat.
So Gambit has half of the second objective, that Adamant, very, very nice to find in the Antlion game. Meanwhile, Peasants dealing with this King Queen Evelyn. As soon as the king dies, the queen fades away. And Fabul is safe for another day.
Unfortunately for Peasants again, where Gambit set up the Sheila 1 check, Peasants has not. You could say that Peasants passed on setting up Sheila 1.
I do like how the King of Fabul is so grateful that he gives you a pass to his band's concert. Hey, come see us for free. Like, thanks. Thanks, man.
He's like, nobody bought these, so here. But meanwhile, Peasants is going to be getting the good news pretty soon with finding that Yang and suddenly going, oh, maybe I should have held off on that siren for just a little bit. Meanwhile, Gambit is setting up the hook route check, and he'll be surprised with the funny news in a short amount of time.
Yep, he'll be getting all of the good news in this Evelyn Cave.
I mean, it's just interesting knowing it's like, okay, 15 minutes in, you don't have a great team yet. What do you do? I mean, do you do what Peasants did? Do you grind to try to take on the hook route? I mean, neither of them have even glanced at ordeals yet, so they're sitting on a DKC that's just like, hi, I can't use those really shiny swords later in the seed. Just aside from having Darkness Crystal, the world is literally open to you. Where do you go?
Yeah, with Peasants has the pass, so Peasants technically only needs a couple of items to get Go mode. Needs either, or Peasants can have Go mode with 2 more key items, the Twin Harp and the Pink Tail, technically from here. So it depends how aggressively he wants to search for it, or if he thinks it's worth it to kind of go fishing for those.
Yeah, at the same time though, it's like looking at the character, or the characters available, it's like, there's this stuff that I really want to take to see. Really? I don't know about this. Because, I mean, yeah, you do have an anchor in the form of Rydia. Unfortunately, she's, at least for Peasants, has been getting levels. For Gambit, I believe the same. She's a great anchor. She has nothing, no levels, but they don't really have a solid anchor yet at 4 characters. So I'm curious what else they're going to look for to try to finish this comp up as we move forward through the season.
Yeah, and this party could certainly use a white mage or a foo to round it out. Neither runner has checked the Baron Inn yet. Peasant's on his way there.
Well, that is a quack kid.
There's a black mage. Maybe the superior black mage to Rydia, who knows?
I mean, this is an awkward form of homeschooling if Callum's getting lessons from Dr. Luger right now.
You know, I don't think Dr. Luge's teaching certificate is any more valid than his medicine certificate at this point.
I'd take his robotics course in a heartbeat, though. This is going to be a quick 2-part fight. And after that, we get to see once we see the combo fight here with Dr. Luge, we get to see who is hiding behind Dr. Luge in the slightly more difficult spot. I personally like to see all Gauntlet because I am a horrible person that has a blackened heart.
Peasants gets through all those forms of Luge combined, and ooh, this is rough.
Yeah, it is. I'll also take this as a substitute.
Mom Bomb in the second spot has a ton of HP no matter where you find her, but in this spot is just annoying and will hit hard. The saving grace is that this spot is the slowest spot on the overworld.
I did not know that. But there's also a lot about Free Enterprise I don't know.
Gambit, meanwhile, found a Gaia drum in looting. Also found a black sword, so his Cecil won't be completely useless. I haven't noticed what kind of sword Cecil is rocking. Maybe Cecil already has a black sword.
I have not seen either. Yeah, and I also actually just found out. No, I see that. I see that Dr. Horrible reference in there in chat right now. I see you. But yeah, I just learned not terribly long ago what the Gaia drum does. I thought it was kind of pointless, but y'all, it casts Quake. It's nice.
So, interesting thing pointed out in chat. Peasants Rydia is in the middle slot, and the middle slot means that Sylph is not free. The Sylph glitch, which is on for these flags, means that as long as Rydia has the MP to cast Sylph, it actually is free. So as long as Rydia has 25 or more, it doesn't cost anything. That doesn't actually apply if Rydia is in the middle slot. So just an interesting thing to note, but Peasants makes it through.
And that guy...
Wow.
Okay, Seed. Okay.
So, you say you want an open seed with plenty of potential for divergence? You got it. The entire world is our oyster.
At this point, if I saw that darkness crystal, I would just kind of stop, probably cry a little, and then immediately go to the moon.
Yeah, this is a good good time to scream. Grab a pillow, scream into it. But in this case, it looks like Gambit and Peasants are going to converge on Mount Ordeals, get that Cecil online.
Yeah, and as a side note, because I'm going to be a stickler about this, Gambit has still not gone and checked Sheila 1, even though he set it up. Check your freebies, folks. Check your objectives.
Gambit did pick up an Asura summon from Ordeals, which Peasants did not. So Gambit's Rydia could be a white mage 66% of the time, which he's going to make happen every time.
He also has many leather-bound books as well. And it smells like rich mahogany.
I love lamp.
I love loud noises. Is it?
It's a blue robe.
Is it?
It could be Water Hag. It could be Old Gauntlet.
Yay!
So this is one of the more annoying spots for the Alt Gauntlet because it's not especially hard. It's just going to take a while.
And as mentioned in chat, do the thing! Dark Command! It sounds like a Command and Conquer DLC or something, I don't know.
So the Dark Command, and here it comes. Watch how cool this Cecil's going to look on Peasant's side. Oh, he didn't do it. He tricked me.
This has officially gone from Magma Key is bait to Anxiety Seed and to Dark Knight Cecil is bait. This is just the bait seed. This is a fun 5 fights of over and over again. But since we are watching this fun 5 fights of fun goodness, I did want to do a quick shout out to our wonderful behind the scenes team. We have the fantastic X Pancraz deciding to put together awesome Jet Seed Anxiety Crazy Madness thing. And then everyone's favorite Night Mom, Scala Kitty, is the one pushing the buttons and protecting them from certain Trash Panda possums in the chat. So we wouldn't have a seat if it wasn't for those two. Give them love, follows, subs, all that good stuff. Give some love, follow, subs to our runners. Oh my god, I almost combined like 4 names. It's late, y'all. PeasantsOMFG, Gambit017. They're fantastic runners of this game. Also, Sheep Launcher, my co-commentator, is a fantastic runner of this game. I'm just here to meme. And give all of them some love.
Yeah, and thank you to Oscar424. Give her some love for trying to say every single thing all at the same time. And thank you, viewers, for hanging out with us tonight.
I literally tried to say Gambit's Peasants and for some reason Pancraz's name at the same time. And it just, I don't know. So
did you notice Peasant's Palom has Fire 2 that he's been using to target all of these at the same time? Peasants, ironically, doing the burninating.
Palom confirmed Trognor. And you will notice, undead do not like fire. Watch your horror films, everybody. They give very valuable life lessons about the unlife. And just like that, Peasants has gotten through the Alt Gauntlet, is going to the potentially tricky second spot, depending on who is here. And that could be interesting.
We're getting rid of a lot of free bosses so far.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as we get to see the not free bosses later on.
Peasants does have 1 coffin left. We'll use one of them. Not a bad idea. These guards can be annoying, can punch, and can also hit your party with spells to make them less effective, such as Piggy or Minnie.
It's always fun muting and then toting these guards and then just watching them ribbit at you angrily.
Peasants did get a life glitch off to get all 5 of his party members' experience. And is through those guards.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just immediately walked in. Yep, sure enough, he is going into that room, getting his key item, and then finding a boss. Which you hate to see things like, oh, I don't know, Wyvern here. Because that could wreck your day real fast. Which is always fun to see.
Especially if you haven't saved.
Right?
Which,
whenever
I say...
Okay, memes.
Yeah.
Sell it. I don't care that there is a Cecil on the screen right now. You sell that sword to assert dominance.
Please don't take Asuka's memeing for actual advice.
Oh, come on, game.
Oh, and a bonus round.
I just see though. Oh heck. Here's what's interesting about D-Mist, if me trying to pay attention and learn from smart people actually worked. D-Mist is kind of resistant against like holy attacks or holy stuff. And in a spot that wasn't made of tissue paper, having the crystal sword might not be the best thing in the world.
No, having a Demus say on the moon against a Crystal Sword Cecil takes longer than you had anticipate. Unfortunately, the Demus here only has 1,000 HP. Peasants is through right away. We'll get to check Rydia's mom in Mist for another key item, but now has a Crystal Sword Cecil.
So basically 27 and change into the seed. We have burr mode. So yeah, Pancreas doing us a solid by making sure we get a decent amount of sleep today.
Yeah, Peasants decking out that Cecil, knows where the sirens are, and I think has a stack of 10. Might decide this party might be Z ready already and go grind. Only has the 3 key items so far, but yeah, might decide that no time like the present to get all your levels and make the rest of the seed a walk in the park.
I would honestly check the lunar character, just mostly because curiosity killed me and whatnot, but maybe that's going to be a white mage, maybe that's going to be a foo, who knows. But I would feel more comfortable knowing that I didn't miss out on something amazing, personally.
Would we call a Crystal Sword as the reward on our deals French vanilla?
I would call that 7.8 to 7.9 sirens, personally.
Rydia's
Especially
mom
that corner.
has the tower key. Another check.
Oh, as our Reacher Pancreas says in chat, it's bougie vanilla. I can support that.
Yeah, it's like the upscale frozen yogurt place where everything costs.
Yeah, a gelato store.
Where each scoop costs $15 for some reason.
Organic, fair trade, hand cultivated, locally grown. Free range vanilla. I'm just picturing little cups of vanilla ice cream just hopping around. I need to sleep once in a while.
Gambit, meanwhile, finds his sylph. Tries to keep his seat on the rails, much like I'm trying to do.
Yeah, no.
Peasants, meanwhile, did one siren very quickly and is now going to climb up that tower.
Yeah, and this is... I definitely don't blame for this play with the tower key already. That's essentially a free fight. There could be some amusing rudeness there, but nothing that I don't think he can't handle. Top of tower can always be a little tricky depending on who's up there specifically. So, and who knows? He might find another chest and pull another crystal sword out of it because one needs to sell a crystal sword.
Want to welcome in the Raiders from Hupfin. Hupfin and friends, welcome to this seed. We're half an hour in. We started with a Cecil and a Rydia and a Magma Key. The Magma Key got us the hook. The Dark Knight Cecil that we need to defeat is on that hook route, as was the Kane that we needed to recruit, as were Sirens. So this seed has been wide open so far. Should be a really hectic and fun one. Glad you're here.
And as you also noticed, we have a Darkness Crystal already found, and oh, by the way, Ordeals gave a crystal sword. So have fun. Just go. Be friends with the seed. Do the thing.
Gambit, meanwhile, going back to Baron Inn to recruit this Quack Kid.
And this is going to be probably... It already has been a much faster fight between Gambit and Peasants. It's... Yeah, you have a crystal sword now. Things are getting done very fast.
Now, Gambit does have 2 free checks that he has not made use of. Oh, and Peasants picks up a tiara. Very nice.
Ooh, that is fantastic for Rydia here. But he will show us who's at the top tower. And that is either full leg or 25% leg.
And Peasants gets reconfirmation of the DKC in the ruby spot.
Because glaring at it once in the hook route wasn't enough. Now you get to glare at it again.
And this is leg.
He's like, is this leg? Let me show you how. Cecil's like, I have a crystal sword. I'm a just burr now. Bye.
So fire to all does not do much more than tickle. Glare is still a glare, though.
That's right. This spot isn't so great for magic, because I've seen that glare do 4 9s and just do terrible, terrible things. So a 600-point glare, not that impressive.
Yeah, glare will not one-shot 3 of the characters. Unfortunately, board face AI decided to target the one that does.
But yeah, as we're seeing right now, it just, as long as Cecil stays alive, this is going to be a pretty much the rest of the seed is going to be, is Cecil alive? Yes. Is Cecil doing damage? Yes. Okay, have fun.
Gambit going up to Mista and going to check on that Rydia's mom.
Now, I didn't notice, did Peasants check the Dima spot yet?
He did.
That was the tower key. That's right.
Yep.
I'm just still salty over the Sheila 1 check because reasons. Oh, so there's the tower key.
Yep. Gambit checking on one of the ladies needs to check on the other. It's always nice to check on your neighbors, especially when they have items for you.
It's like all the other NPCs, yeah, sure, we'll just curse them when they get away, but you have an item for us? Oh, hi, how can I help you now? Peasants getting the very fun I lost now, but I shall return dialogue. The few times where Ruby gets a little jealous of Dr. Dialogue getting all the love.
Yeah, it's nice that he wished us good luck, but really we could have inferred that from his actions, and we really don't want to see any more dialogue than we have to. But the top of the tower has the Baron key.
We are just filling up our key ring with a lot of rabbit holes.
Go fetch.
And yes, it gives, if you were still looking for bosses, Baron key is a great spot. You get 3 bosses, one of which you already know. But since we already know what DKC is, if Peasant's going to go there, it's going to be looking for key items. You get 2 there and potentially a character. So, again, since it is a gated character, that is another opportunity for things like Fu or Edge or, well, Best Boy Edward, because it's good to have goals. Meanwhile, Peasants has found Ashura and has probably said goodbye to Ashura because this spot is probably the freest spot in the game.
Yep. Do want to point out that Edward is not a gated character, which only helps to secure his Best Boy bona fides because he's a man of the people.
He is. And you know who does a really good job against DKC if you can bravely hide him? Edward. Gambit. Do the Sheila 1. Yay! Check your freebies. So Sheila 1 today gives us... Oh, that's cute.
Oh, a vanilla
That's
pan.
Cute. This is why you check your freebies.
Yep. Peasants maybe not doing the young check because he's hoping for that pan. But the pan is hiding where it always is. In Sheila's hand.
And that's always a really, really interesting thing to happen. Because there are plenty of runners that want to try to one-stop or two-stop shop Fabula as much as possible. But sometimes the rando's just like, nah, and just takes that one-stop shop away from you.
Peasants, meanwhile, checking these trap chests on the tower. I'm not sure precisely what he's looking for. Maybe a cane weapon? Maybe a Bahamut summon?
That Dragon Whip is interesting, though, for Rydia.
It is. He's probably not at the point in the game where he really wants Rydia to be doing that much damage, but if he wanted to do a King Ryu grind, maybe, or something like that, but I think he'd much rather have Rydia doing damage with her spellcasting.
Agreed, and we do see Gambit getting a few more sirens. It actually looks like Gambit might be tackling this hook route and trying to take out that DKC. Well, that's a shiny sword right there that nobody can use.
Yep, that's a piece of Hanzo steel. Perfect for that Edge, who has not shown up yet.
Right now, I low-key want, since they both have Darkness Crystal, I want Edge to just be on the moon going, hey, you would have picked me up a few minutes ago. That sword would be great right now.
So, Gambit, going down the hook route, assuming that the King Queen Evelyn spot is not something really obnoxious that completely blocks him, should be able to go through the hook route, get the Falcon, and then will immediately be able to climb back up that tower, which is a play I love.
And speaking about bougie vanilla, we have Golbez in a French vanilla spot, and arguably a much more rude spot. His normal vanilla spot is pretty low HP and not so great at magic because Golbez hurts painfully in a high magic spot. This could be real cheeky for Peasants right now because Golbez gets a little bit stronger here.
Yeah, Golbez does get stronger when he's not striding menacingly past the crystal and instead dances around. That Cecil having crystal armor will prevent him from being paralyzed, and we'll see if he's able to avoid the shadow demolishing.
That was a bold strategy, Cotton. It did not pay out for him.
Nope.
Well, at this point, throw up a Star Veil and pray. 2 Star Veils if you're lucky.
Yeah, going to try and get a Star Veil off in a hurry. Tries to run buffer. Gambit, meanwhile, finds a Sparkle.
Come on, Uncle Pogo. Come on, Uncle Pogo.
Yogo could be Wyvern.
No!
It's the D-Lunars, who are not free here.
You say this and not acknowledge the crystal sword itself.
Look, I'm not concerned with facts.
I was looking. There were D-Lunars. There were D's Lunars. Now there's just a Lunar.
Golbez asks the question that we all should be asking.
Why are we awake right now? Ooh, but Cecil goes down. This just got cheeky.
Yeah. And the second boss, the Kaipo guards. And there's a Tella.
So that is definitely an anchor.
Yep,
so
replaces that Rydia. Going to try and get somebody up there. And Gambit makes it through by the skin of his teeth.
Gambit, you brave soul.
Meanwhile, yes. Peasants living that Tele-life stones those Kaipo guards.
And Gambit thankfully saving between those 2 fights. I'm pretty sure he does not want to deal with that again by any means of the imagination.
So yeah, like I said, D-Lunars not free. Although Kane did end up with 250 more HP than he needed.
And ironically, still not the highest level party member on the team. No need to worry too much. That is a free full heal going into DKC, so we'll see how Gambit does with that.
I don't know offhand. I know there are spreadsheets and things that will tell you. I don't know offhand how much each Dark Wave will do here.
I'd say about 300 so HP, my guess.
And there it is. So, should be no issue getting through this.
Meanwhile, on Peasant's side, Luca has shown us that she has a very interesting taste in jewelry and has given us the rat tail. So that is a free, potentially key item check on Peasant's side, and you will be checking that freebie right now.
You know, I want to think that that's Luca's hairstyle instead, and she just gave us that.
No. You know, the pizza rolls were tasting really good, and now they don't.
The rat tail just gives a white shirt. So, hey there, Delilah. Would you like a plain white tee?
I'd rather have an objective, which is what Gambit just did. Objective 4. I got nothing.
Gambit does get a button, but cannot avoid the pitfall. And we'll go into...
I mean, at this point, what's faster? Completing the hook route and launching the Falcon, or walking your way back?
Seriously, I mean, it's definitely faster to go this way, so you want to go through the pitfall, and part of the reason why I love climbing right back up the tower is you never have to take the Falcon anywhere.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Peasants finally getting into the Antlion Cave 44 minutes into the seed.
Peasants thinking, oh yeah, this is a thing that exists. I should head over there.
Yep. Gonna find a rock deep in this cave. And it's gonna be a nice rock.
I mean, it's no party rock. It's definitely it's a shiny rock. It's like a pebble that creates inferior swords. Now that we have a crystal sword.
Well, instead of going right up the tower and going for efficiency and transportation options, Gambit decides to check the 2 freebies he has. We'll go whack young with that pan.
So again, as someone that's always on team, check your freebies, check your objectives. I love seeing this because reasons.
Just let him sleep a little bit longer. And to bribe us, he'll give us a sand ruby.
So we've gone from keys to shiny rocks. So that is another gated character. We can head over to Kaipo and see who's from one bed snoozer to another. Although Gambit looks like he's doing the healing up, so either going to be heading to Tower or heading to Dwarf Castle shortly.
Yeah, this might be a situation where Gambit does not want to return here until he absolutely has to, so getting all the underground checks done. Or it could be he's looking for something in particular. Gonna head up that tower now. Neither runner has visited Kaipo yet, so we don't know who is snoozing in the bed. Usually it's not a bad idea to check Kaipo early in the seed if you have a character that you need to recruit just to see who's there and how important the Sand Ruby is. But in this case, both runners recruited their Cane fairly easily, and that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, again, though, at this point, it's like, all right, so let's see what I have. What do I want? Looking at Gambit's team, definitely still is probably looking for an anchor situation. Peasants, the difference of the anchor, I mean, this could be a team that Peasants is totally comfortable with building up to Z and taking all the way. If anything, maybe later on replacing the Yang. That's more of like a personal preference kind of thing. I don't know, but I'd be curious to see how the teams evolve, if they evolve in the near future, for checks like Baron, like the Moon character, because you both have a Darkness Crystal and I'm nosy. That.
Want to welcome in Apex Corvid and friends raiding us. We are 47 minutes in. This seed started spicy with a Magma Key start, with a hook that contained both that cane and that Dark Knight, and both runners have a Crystal Sword Cecil, which was the reward for climbing Mount Ordeals.
So usually the joke is made in Baron Throne Room that the Baron or the King of Baron was just so and so in a trench coat. In this case, is it Dark Elf in a trench coat and its dragon form is the belt? How would that work?
Dark Elf is a quick change artist because not only changing from the King to the Dark Elf, but from the Dark Elf to the dragon form, just an absolute mastery of outfit rearranging.
Literally changes so fast it loses the boss bit, but still retains that fantastic weakness to light. And well, again, this is the Crystal Sword Go Burr seed.
Yep, Crystal Sword Cecil will take care of a lot of problems you have, especially if those problems are weak to Holy.
I would definitely agree. And it looks like we don't get a character out of Baron, which is unfortunate. Though for Peasants, well, no. Yeah, made the smart play.
A duplicate non-character, in fact. Peasants ditched his first Rydia for that Tella. That Tella impressed him on the edition so much that he's not going to get rid of him now.
And it should be noted that there are 3 duplicate characters in this seed, and furthermore, 2 of our main cast of characters will not be showing up. They'll be in the Fu room, past Zermos' room, just hanging out and giving free hugs and free shrugs. So we don't know which 2 characters are taking a break on the seed, so we'll find out probably never. Meanwhile, let's go find out what's in a trash can on Peasant's side.
That Edge back there would like to give free hugs to Rydia, I'm sure. And that's another fetch quest.
Lurker Key's an interesting one. It's honestly a check I like making because I like this cheeky check. It's you can literally run through the entirety of the sealed cave, not take a single fight, and just go see what the key item is. If you're not looking for bosses, you're just looking for key items. If it doesn't suit you, fine, you're done. If you are looking for bosses, you can check the key item and then see who the boss is. So yes, it's a little bit out of the way, but I've seen some sealed key plays pay off surprisingly well.
Yeah, and unless Peasant still thinks that the Dark Knight is at large, he doesn't need to do any boss face checks. We've already seen demist. So the Luca check would be long, but not as long as it could be.
Oh, that's funny.
Baigen on the basement throne. This could be painful.
This is Baigen is I've noticed a lot of early vanilla game characters. They tend to be surprisingly rude in later spots in the seed of sorts. This one, Baigen just is fast and gets those arms surprisingly quickly back. But if timed right, you can do some pretty good strats with Palom, Quake, and just constantly killing those arms. Or you can have Cecil just go burr on the body and call it a day.
Yep, as long as that Cecil stays up, should be doing okay. That Baigen will resurrect arms, but you can do a little cheeky arm grind.
Now, is it the best be all end all grind? No, but sometimes we need the XP. That just works fine.
And also, it's a fun meme, which is what we're all here for.
Exactly.
Gambit got his Baron Key from the leg at the top of the tower, and is going to get his piece of Hanzo Steel as soon as he descends.
And meanwhile, FF4 meme is really what the randomizer should be called. Yeah, I could agree to that.
I mean, maybe we want to keep it a little bit underground.
Well, that's what the Underground League is for.
You know,
Oh.
just a little secret password, but the body is down.
And so is the last arm.
No, that's in the giant.
I know, but we don't get to see the giant almost ever. Eh. Hi!
And that's a spoon.
It is a spoon. You bet
Eddie becomes more
Peasants, you
valuable.
take that spoon. Thank you.
Question in chat, who were the bosses in Feymarch? Any chance we could do those before Moon? The bosses in Feymarch were manageable. They are a Plague and an Octoman. Plague can be cheesed. There's no physical damage coming out of there, which the Leviathan spot has a bunch of. Octoman is cheesable because it starts off very fast, but slows down with every 3 hits or so. So the Feymarch bosses could be inviting.
Agreed. And actually, with that spoon, that does put Peasants at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 key items. So 1 away from double XP. And it does look like Peasants is going to be making that cute little Luca key check. Meanwhile, Gambit is getting the not so great news to see Miss behind the first dwarf castle fight, or at the first dwarf castle fight. So he did do some preparation beforehand, and it has gone to bacon.
Yeah, everybody knows if there's one thing Golbez hates, it's the 3 little pigs showing up.
See,
Actually, turning the party into pigs helps prevent that, or at least some of the party helps prevent that paralyzed status due to stacking status effect. So Gambit trying to get by with just 2 pigs, and he hopes one of them will survive Shadowless to get the Starveil off quickly and make this fight a little bit easier.
So since the pawns have shown up in chat with Denari going, Gambit is just hamming it up. So this one's a stretch, but it's 12:09 here, so therefore, whatever.
Oh,
so
both the pigs go down.
Shadow is aching for some bacon. So if Peasants turned his characters into pigs and decided to do a door grind in Sealed Cave, would that actually be considered a pork grind instead? To quote Baka, I feed off of your anger.
So I'm really in the unusual position for me of not being the one that everybody groans at. So that's great. Peasants, meanwhile, found the earth crystals, gonna walk that out. Finds Karate in the evil wall spot. Is fairly free here. Karate, once he does 2 kicks, all you need to do is hit him once with Cecil, and he says ouch and falls over.
Scott is saying only if you're making sausage Oscar. Well, to be fair, when I come on comms, I'm used to getting my rump roasted.
Oh, jeez. I think me and Oscar are just a couple of ham hacks.
Yeah. And getting muted. Both of us getting muted in like right now.
Gambit was frying for a little bit, but makes it through that Golbez, gets an old man, and ditches that cane. The ultimate betrayal.
That is... I'm actually curious why make that, other than using Rydia as an actual character, which I call that Poidrex strats.
Well, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've found any good weapons for Kane yet. No Dragoon Spears or White Spears or Defense Swords. So, with that, it might be more beneficial to have an Anchor and a Mage for the rest of the seed than a Kane who's just swinging away.
That is a fair point there. So yeah, okay, fine, I'll give you that one. Wilbury, yes, there is a crystal stored at Mount Ordeals. So you get a paladin and a crystal sword at the same time. Because why not?
Yeah, we want to get our starter paladins on the road to success. Here at Mount Ordeals University, our education works for you.
Yeah, and as a community race around Valentine's Day, it was put together by Commander Leadenhart, one of our beloved community members. You learned very quickly that you can pretty much do a vast majority of the seed with literally only Cecil and Rosa.
The ultimate love story. Gambit does pick up that tale from Luca. Peasants, meanwhile, is going to grind up. He doesn't care who is on the moon or who is behind that sand ruby. He likes his party, and he's going to get them up to Z levels. Or at least do something approaching Z levels.
Yeah, with that Earth Crystal, that is a 10th key item, so I definitely don't blame that play right there. But looks like Peasants is going to be checking out that Earth Crystal. Are we going to see a rating of the nerfed treasury, or are we just going straight up Zot?
It would be kind of late in the seed to do a raid of the treasury, but Peasants might be a man of the people.
That is a negative Ghost Rider.
No such luck. So once again, the memes fall to brutal, ruthless efficiency. It's just the world we live in, Asuka. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, well, hopefully Gambit's check's going to pan out soon. And so Sheila too.
No, I got it.
I know.
Sorry for not selling it at all, but I got it. That's a legend sword.
That is interesting.
So, Gambit has access to
This
his third objective. Just needs one more, and just needs either a pink tail or a twin heart.
Neither of which we've seen. Denari Rat Tail is just a white shirt, so there's nothing behind that. But this makes Fading Sheila 1 potentially devastating for Peasants, because that was a vanilla pan that Sheila gave us. So, yeah, that's... I kind of have to agree with our Restrainer Pancras here. We should probably be heading to the moon. But the lower party, that Val is not somebody you want to see in this particular spot.
Well, that Crystal Sword Cecil will be doing something, and Peasants does still have that cane. So all is not lost here. Val will be annoying here, but Peasants should be through it. Val decided to move a couple steps forward.
She wanted a slightly higher, high magic defense spot here?
She does have some magic defense.
Physical defense, that's what it was.
Yeah. But that Palom Quake only doing 260 or so. So although the magic can hit Val, not for much.
And so you can see with the slight hurting of not having a white mage, really. You don't necessarily have to worry about too many physical attacks from Val, especially in her tornado form, but they can happen. Thankfully for Peasants, that physical attack against Cecil did not hit. Thankfully, though, counter the opposite way, because words are hard. Cecil's attack did hit Val, killed her, and we are moving on to see what characters are behind this Earth Crystal.
Yeah, no, I don't think there are any characters.
It's a Fu.
Well, I was going to say, except for Fu, that would tempt Peasants. We will see.
Can we see double Fu? Actually, no. I want to see a Fu Eddie. Come on, Schwartz. Come on, Schwartz.
Asuka trying to summon her Eddie Fu on the seed.
No! I was so excited and it was just a discount mop. It was a dollar store mop.
A double old man. Top of tower.
No country for old men. Only bards.
Ditches the pallet for that Fu. And of course that Tella never stood a chance. Meanwhile, Gambit, with his party, with kids still in it, plays with and destroys the dolls.
I can definitely see taking Fu here just for the sole purpose of acting as a white mage. Yeah, Fu and friends, or just Fu and Cecil, and most fights are going to be pretty straightforward free here.
And it's basically a hot desk here in the Tower of Zot as the Magus sisters move into the battle spot.
It's one of those like fire drills on a car when you get to a red light and then everybody gets out and swaps spots.
Yes.
And people all around get very confused.
Yes. And you try and break your own record. So I think also this is why peasants opted for this Fu. This Fu has access to nuke already.
Oh yeah, that does make sense. With the Fu challenge, Fu starts off with a small smattering of spells, but every single boss defeated, or boss spot defeated, Fu gains 3 random spells and 100 HP. And eventually he reaches 1900 HP and full power to all of his spells. So you kind of want to see a nuke early. Not usually the case. It is weighted towards the end, but it doesn't matter because that's a 1900 HP Fu. And Fu go Burr, because Cecil going Burr wasn't enough.
That's trying to go for power overwhelming here. Gets a package. Definitely not what he's looking for.
No, especially since you already have Kane. You hopefully Peasants does remember what the DKC is on the hook route. You got a Fu. You're what do you need a package for? You've got 10 key items.
Yep.
Stuff and things.
And Peasant's going to head down into the Fey March.
Yeah, at this point, both of those bosses are going to be pretty straightforward and easy. Hoping to get lucky with key item checks there. Meanwhile, Gambit is going to be hitting the trash can to get the news that he doesn't quite find what he's looking for just yet.
Nope, this will be the Luca key, I believe.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So, let's see. Peasants, I don't think has visited Yang in the first place. In the Sylph Cave, so hasn't checked Sheila 1, obviously. Very interesting.
And like I said earlier, there are people that will try to fade Baron as long as you can until you have the pan, or Sheila until you have the pan. Because 1 or 3 potential key item checks are better than 1. Much like some people will hold off to trade in the rat tail until they get the pink tail. Now, in this flag set, you don't see that as much because trading away the pink tail is a required objective, and you never know what you're going to find behind that rat tail. So, yeah, you don't see as much, but you still will see that Sheila 1 check faded. And unfortunately for Peasants, it's a vanilla pan into the Legend Sword, which is an objective.
At least a double dip. For Blue is going to be required a double dip into Sylph Cave. Just an all-around annoyance. Do want to thank our restreamer X Pancraz for rolling this absolute seed of a seed. Thanks also to our tracker Scala Kitty for tracking this wildly divergent path.
And of course, follow our runners, follow Sheep Launcher. They are fantastic at this game. I just say things.
Yeah, don't lump it in with a peasant. There's a reason I'm 1 and 3, but
There's a reason I'm 0 and 0.
Peasants taking on this Octomam in the Feymarch. As you can see, Octomam with a bunch of hits keeps losing tentacles. Don't know where they're going.
Something, 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 Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, something, something, touched by Nidalee Appendage, end of fight.
Yep.
Now, Octomam. Is Octomam weak against darkness attacks or light attacks?
Octomam is weak against darkness to help make that Dark Knight Cecil look good against it, so this Crystal Sword not doing as much as you might expect.
I mean, if you look at that face, that's just anything looks good next to that face. That is terrifying.
I mean, I didn't know that's how you felt.
Odin.
Just an Odin summon. For that Rydia he no longer has.
That Odin summon just cuts right to the core there.
Yeah. How many sirens is that?
Doesn't matter. It's not a crystal sword.
Doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Gambit took an unfortunate wipe to that Baigen, going to refit and try it again.
Well, I'm curious to see if Peasants is going to go Power Overwhelming, or it looks like it's going to be Power Overwhelming with Bacchus being called. Now you can, like I said before, there's a few different ways you can cheese this fight. You can put up a Star Veil right away and get Plague to constantly refresh the count because, well, one character can't get the count on them. You can just go straight Power Overwhelming. You can kill a character and then revive them before the count goes to 0, so Plague casts count again. Either way, there's a lot of different ways to beat Plague, and I hate them all because I don't like Plague and I don't like it. Grumble, grumble.
There's a suggestion in chat that music should be found in the Giant. I agree. Unfortunately, the Giant by itself does not contain a key item. The only time you'll find a key item from doing the Giant is if the D-Mist is hanging out in the element spot or in the CPU spot. We've already found that D-Mist in the changing room at the top of Mount Ordeals University, so no key item from the Giant today.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this Plague spot is the last key item check that we don't know the answer to?
On the overworld, yes. Except for that Twin Harp.
True. Well, that Earth Crystal, G-Bus, that Earth Hammer tells you that Earth is not the answer anymore.
No. And so Peasants still has some checks he could do on the Earth. He could check out that hook route. I bet Peasants was really hoping to find some key items so he wouldn't have to dive that hook route. It's just kind of a pain to just go for one boss check, but instead he's going to the moon.
And unfortunately, Gambit took another wipe to Baigen right there.
Wow.
And I believe, Scala, you are correct. Gambit has not forged. It has the ability to forge, but hasn't gone there yet.
Yep. Gambit went straight from that Earth Crystal to take care of the Baron Castle. Is not going to stop until he's vanquished this Baigen, it looks like, because once you fly away from Baron, the basement throne kind of has a tendency to escape your mind. So he's going to go and try it again. Peasants made it through Baigen on the first try. It's worth noting, I think, Gambit's party a lot squishier than Peasants is.
Agreed. Yeah, the Rydia Palom combo, it does high damage, but at the same time, yeah, you look at them hard enough, they will disintegrate. Let's see what Peasants is doing. The Moon Whale has been summoned, but it looks like Peasants is going to be heading probably to the hook route and take on that DKC.
Yep, taking that hovercraft. I wanted to say hoverboard. I think it'd be neat if they had a hoverboard. Hovercraft over to Cave Eblin, finally going to dive this hook route. Peasants party should have no problem with DKC here. Those D-Lunars in front of them should be a little bit harder, but not much.
Yeah, this will be pretty straightforward for Peasants, especially since Peasants has been doing a couple bits of siren grinding. I don't think Gambit has done any siren grinds yet. Looking at the HP totals, I'm kind of leaning on that as well. Plus, with Peasants, of course, has activated mop %, so yeah, Nuke's gonna hurt. At least for the first fight.
And this party for Gambit is interesting. I think Gambit has done a little bit more shuffling around of party members than Peasants has. I don't know if he's completely satisfied with this team yet.
Yeah, agreed. I'm curious as to why Gambit hasn't again gone to the moon yet. We do get that free character, and or just gone and forged. I mean, yes, you get the Excalibur, which is effectively an inferior weapon for our Cecil, but you can potentially get some other really nice items there. Thankfully, though, Gambit has been able to get through the Bygone on the 3rd try, and will be given their reward very shortly. Or they can find like a Eddie or something, and then probably get rid of them because
Gambit resets out of it.
Gambit, I'm gonna have some choice words for you.
Does have 11 key items. Probably not going to take the Edward at this point, even if the Edward shows up. Question in chat. Moon is not haunted officially. Moon's got to have either both the Twin Harp and the Pink Tail, or the way to get to both of them.
The ultimate troll would be Harp gives the Pink Tail, but at this point, they're we've checked. I believe we've checked Luca Cave to see what was there. We know it's in Baron. We know it's in Tower. It's either going to be both the Harp and the Pink Tail around the moon, or at the very least Harp, which leads into Pink Tail.
Yep. And so Gambit knows he only needs one more key item. Peasants still needs that Legend Sword at Sheila 2. I don't know when he's going to get that, but is going to face off against DKC. Doesn't even go back to save after the D-Lunars. This should be nothing with his HP. This is more like Tickle Man.
I mean, those HP totals on Cecil and Kane and Yang, for that matter, those are Z-Fight ready HP totals.
And a Z-Fight ready Tella in perfect Z-Fight position.
Floor duty is hard, y'all.
You know, sometimes you gotta inspect those floors, handsies and kneesies. You gotta do it.
True.
Although, can you imagine how much Tella's knees must hurt?
How much Tella's nose must hurt? I mean, we're going face first into the ground right here.
Question in chat: has anyone checked Luca? Yes, Luca contained the Earth Crystal.
So Peasants has gotten through that fight. I swear that was probably the cheekiest hook route I've seen in a little while, given the magnitude fight. And meanwhile, Gambit is doing a little bit of egg grinding right now, trying to scramble up some EXP. But as a side note, we know we've mentioned the wonderful behind-the-scenes team of Scala, Kitty, and Pancras, and then myself and Sheep Launch doing comms. But hey, have you ever watched one of these races and said, you know what? I could do a better job than them, or I just want to help out. Please.
Or if you heard Oscar and I talk and think, oh, I can do a better job than them.
That's pretty much every single person watching this race. But anywho, if you want to help out, we're always looking for new people to join the Restream team. And honestly, we only bite on days that end in Y, so there's nothing to worry about. It's a great way to get into the community, get active, meet lots of amazing people. I mean, every single person in the Free Enterprise community is absolutely amazing. And even if you're brand new, you have no idea what's going on, but you still want to help out, helping out's a really great way to learn the game. When I started playing Free Enterprise, I was doing more tracking than I was actually playing, because it was how I was learning where the key items were. because it had been a while since I had played Final Fantasy IV. So yeah, we're always looking for people. We have a Discord that can give you the access to that information and that sign-in area. And yeah, definitely.
And even if you're shy and don't want to help out on restream duty right away, it's okay to come join us in the Discord. It's one of the best communities on the entire internet. Everybody there, super nice around this game that we all love. It's wonderful, and any way you contribute to it, we're happy to have you. So, links in the chat.
It's a very value-added Discord channel, much like Cave Value is. If you want to go check for a key item and potentially a funny, rude, or not rude boss.
So an interesting first check here from Peasant. Cave Value can be a cheeky play, but it's a little bit of a walk-in. There's only one key item down here, and Peasants needs two.
The really nice thing is you get to see what the boss is before you decide whether or not you want to go all the way, and you'll be finding out shortly. Or, oh, there it is. And it is Leviathan?
Manageable. Very manageable.
Yeah. If there was a much more physical boss like that Vigan in the Odin spot, or that DKC, that's just wrong and like terrible. But instead we get a Sob champ. So.
Yeah, I was looking. I was thinking about who we haven't seen yet. Who would be toughest here? I mean, Mylon Z would be punchy, but would be like paper mache to that crystal sword. Ogo Pogo would be a little bit tricky here, but yeah, the magic here isn't the highest on the moon, and Leviathan doesn't do enough physical attacks to really trouble his team.
I do like seeing, especially with as much as I love physical fighters or a Cecil Go Burr mode, I love seeing an Antlion here just because those physical attacks are brutal.
Yes. And I believe that Antlion also resisted the holy.
So that Antlion would just be like, oh, that's a cute sword you got there. That'd be a shame if I didn't care.
I could be wrong about that, but of course our restreamer Pancras correcting me. I just want to put it on the record. Antlion not resistant to holy, even though it is one of those bosses you meet with Dark Knight Cecil in the vanilla game. He just counters everything, every physical attack with counter.
Ooh!
And that's a pink tail.
That's an objective. Well, that is very, very interesting. That puts Peasants now effectively one key item away from Go mode. Unfortunately, well, it's now, does Peasants continue working on the moon? Or not?
Peasants going to go to the lunar subterrane. So we know that Peasants could get everything he needs for Go mode right now. But he doesn't know that, and he's going to try and clear the lunar subterrane, and this could actually work out for him if the Twin Harp is in a spot he checks very quickly.
And answering Kazuko Kawakami in chat, Pan was it was vanilla, so Sheila 1 had it. Peasants has faded it though.
Peasants finds Moon Bay.
Ooh. And Moon Bay is well,
too little, too late.
Bye. The question is top down or bottom up? That's it. I've seen races have wildly different answers for this question.
Yep. Nobody's a big fan of middle out. Wonder why.
No.
So you got to think outside the box. That's what metagaming is.
No. That's like eating a hot dog sandwich. Yeah, hot dog's a sandwich. Y'all fight me. But just eating the hot dog and leaving the bun.
Oh, like when my dad had to cook for us?
did Fu nuke the bun a little bit too much? Ah, yes, there's the hot dog hate.
Gambit will walk out this Earth Crystal. So this check could be a little iffy for Gambit because the more he delays going to the moon, the more he delays his going to the moon.
And unfortunately for Gambit, we all know that because he has the potential to forge K value right there with the pigtail, and with the pass, he'd be set. And every single step he follows behind Peasants is giving Peasants more time to get that twin harp.
The Earth Crystal will kind of end this particular rabbit hole for Gambit. I imagine Gambit will forge before he leaves to go back on the surface of the blue planet.
And the fact that Gambit didn't immediately reset out of seeing that Earth Crystal gives me the suspicion that he's probably going to be heading there next.
I imagine so. You have to follow up. You can't abandon this chain right in the middle of it. Peasants finds Odin in the ribbon room.
This could be kind of interesting if we didn't, again, have a crystal sword and a nuke. But I don't think this Odin will be much longer for this world.
No, and Fu does have a lit 3. This spot will punch, but Cecil taking some big swings at him.
Does Yang have a Thunderclaw, or is Yang just swole right now?
Yeah, that was 2,500 from Young. I think a Thunderclaw would actually do more in this spot.
Ah, gotcha. Meanwhile, we have Gambit heading back to the Fame Arch. Gambit, no, there's nothing there. Ooh, but that Avenger sword is pretty. And a Dragoon. Oh, jeez.
And finally, at 124 in the sea, we finally get a decent weapon for Kane. So, and Peasants running into the inventory boss. You can't equip the Avenger with a shield in your hand, and you can't unequip the shield if you don't have any spots in your inventory. He needs to get rid of some things. And this is the third or fourth time he's had to get rid of stuff in the menu. So just getting a little bit of time wasted.
But yeah, being a member of the Kane faithful and holding out to get that Dragoon Spear, kudos to that.
You know, having faith in Kane doesn't usually pay off, but in this case it does.
It's like betraying the betrayal.
Meanwhile,
Blarg!
Wyvern decides to switch offices on the moon.
Now, is this, how bad of a Blarg is this Blarg and Blarg? Oh, it's a, well, okay, it's a stronger Blarg than I anticipated.
Yeah, Plague doesn't have, Plague's magic power isn't as bad as it could be, because you don't need all that much to make sure your counts stick. But he does have one star rail, uses it, going to equip that Avenger on Cecil and Slice and Dice.
And as mentioned from Pancras in chat, it's a good thing we got that Dragoon Spear from next door.
Yeah. I hear a rumor that Wyvern is a dragon type.
Okay, for those that don't know much about Final Fantasy IV, you might think something is a dragon. It's not always a dragon. Okay, this is a dragon. Bad example. But things like D-Mist. Oh, the D totally stands for dragon. No, it doesn't. It stands for lies and sadness. It's not a dragon.
Well, here's how I remember it. Wyvern was a man. He was a dragon man.
But he was Wyvern!
Maybe he was just annihilated.
He was burninated.
He sure was, and he was Discarding a Protector Ring.
Should have been wearing it.
Yeah, it certainly would have helped.
All right, so now we're down to 3 checks. I'm gonna say Ogopogo spot because I'm hoping for a vanilla Ogopogo.
I'm gonna say Crystal Sword spot. I'm gonna say Demarine knows the score. Meanwhile, Gambit just absolutely devastating the Fame Arch bosses. Has a nuke on 2 characters.
Yeah, and kind of sad by what he found, probably. All right, we are checking that Ogopogo spot, so... All right, let's see what we got. Show me Ogo or maybe Antlion. I'll take that too.
Yeah, still a couple of rude bosses. Kainatsu could be up here.
No! I reject!
Oh!
I reject! No, false. I mean, okay. It's
Where's
a
the
punchy water hag.
Where's the siege manager?
Awesome.
Awesomes.
So, the water hag is kind of punchy. Kind of. So it's like free adjacent. If not for the fact that there were thousands upon thousands of HP on the table right now. Ooh.
Gambit just forged. There are apples, there are Zeus gauntlets, life staff, and power shirts.
Speaking of dragons.
Just a Bahamut summon. Peasants goes on to the next check. Peasants, if he picks up that Legend Sword, which looks unlikely at this point, would be really interested in that Coco Shop. Much better for Zerkers with those Zeus gauntlets than the mage party that Gambit has.
Agreed. Alright, Peasants, where are you going?
To the Crystal Sword altar.
Uh-oh. So this was your check, or was this the Demarine check?
I mean, I checked it sometimes, but doing this play first is the Demarine. She made it. Why
is that? Oh, okay. I think that was probably before I got involved into Free Enterprise. Because I'm still fairly new to Free Enterprise.
Gambit, meanwhile, heading up to Troya to check the Tower of Zot.
Ooh, it's a Mylon Zed.
So this spot has a very high physical, but Mylon Z is very weak to Crystal Swords.
Yeah, pretty much Crystal Swords, fire spells, if you think like Quad 9s isn't enough. I know, is Mylon Zed also weak to restorative spells like cures, or is it just
very much
fire?
So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Because Mylon and Friends, the Mylon part of Mylon and Friends doesn't take damage from restoratives, just Mylon Zed.
I think the regular Mylon does too, but
okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that. Peasants, meanwhile, gets the ability to stop time for a while, but would rather have that harp. And so now I think we know that the harp has to be at that pale dim spot.
Unless there is just some random check that we do not know about.
Yeah.
Like that was specifically added by Pancras for this seed.
That would be something else. That would be the wackiest of the wacky flags.
Nice. Yeah, this is definitely going to be showing that top down is the absolute correct play.
Yep.
Now the question is, who is going to be holding on to that twin harp? I don't know who would be rude in this particular spot, 'cause it is the kind of weakest-ish spot.
Yeah, I mean, Kainatsu would still not be a bed of roses up here, but would be better than, say, Elements. Oh,
It's a bug. Okay,
It'll be punchy.
back to what I said about early game bosses on the moon are surprisingly are just butts. Ant lion punch hard, or like stab you with the. Are those teeth or the? Is I've never understood. Is that a tooth or is that like a claw or a talon or?
You
I
know,
don't.
I think if you're close enough to find out, you're not going to report your findings back to anybody.
I don't want to get close enough to Antlion to stare at that face any closer than what I need to.
Gambit
Antlion, my dreams.
ditches the old men, and that ant lion crumbles away quickly.
And sure enough, there's our harp. So as soon as I almost said as soon as Antlion checks the harp, as soon as Peasants checks that twin harp, he would get a crystal.
And turns in that pigtail. Peasants is in go mode.
So, since we haven't had a bard in this seed,
Yeah,
we do get to see the bard anyway, because Eddie must always be there.
it always pains Asuka a little bit when an hour and a half has passed in a seed, and Anna has more screen time than Edwie does.
Okay, I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
I just said you. I mean, I tagged you in that.
And I want to go home.
Peasants doing the swag Falcon flight.
You always got either the falcon or the whale. Either way, if swag can be achieved, swag must be achieved.
Now, here's the problem. Peasants can't get go mode, or can't get the crystal, rather, from this twin harp by itself. Still needs to turn in that pink tail. So that falcon is going to be blocking his way, or he's going to have to do a little switcheroo.
Yeah, that'll be. I'm morbidly curious to see which way Gambit goes, whether it's top or bottom. I almost said top or top because again, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But meanwhile, Peasants in the Cave Magnus doing a fun little magic check or harp check. I'm just gonna drink my caffeine for a second. Hold on.
Eddie is not just proficient at playing the spoons, he is also proficient at playing the harp. He plays a different song for us each time, and that's why we all listen in rapt attention as Eddie saves the day with his DJing skills.
And ironically, out of all the songs that I believe are in the harp check for Free Enterprise, I don't think the vanilla song is in there.
No, because that'd be boring.
much like Vanilla Z. But meanwhile, let's stay quiet and enjoy some fun tunes from everyone's favorite DJ Spoon B.
Well, before we do that, Gambit going straight to Cave Bahamut. He's gonna get his pink tail, and this is going to be a nail biter.
We got a race, yo! I can't say I know that song,
No,
but
but
I
Peasants
like
showed
it.
us it was from Xenoblade. I believe it's called
Ah.
Colony 6. But both Peasants and Gambit finishing up their fights at the same time. Both have to turn in a pink tail. Both have a pass. Both will be going into Z at virtually the same time.
Oh, this is going to be. Oh my gosh.
Yes, this is going to be so close. And both are going to attack that Z, you would think, with very different strategies. Peasants is lined up for a complete Zerk party. Gambit has 3 mages at the top of their game with a Crystal Sword Cecil. You might see some hybrid strats, maybe full reflect.
Yeah, it's hard to sell a full reflect to me with a Crystal Sword Cecil, but at the same time, I mean, ooh, I have no idea which way it's gonna go. This is, I mean, they're gonna be getting the pink tails. They're literally gonna be turning this in at almost the same exact time and immediately going to the pass at the same exact time.
Yes. Yes, this is going to be so close. I hate to say it, but we have had one tie in the tournament. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but look, this exact same time,
Oh my
Crystal.
gosh, this is so cool!
This is incredible. It's all going to come down
What?
from here. And another Crystal Sword.
Okay, I know they're not gonna sell it, but
No
sell
time to
it
sell.
anyway!
No time to sell.
Trash it! Trash it when you're waiting for Z to transform! Feed the Chocobo! I don't know!
There's no time!
Find time! Hourglass won the seed!
Gambit takes a slightly quicker path, makes the optimization by going to the right instead of the left. I can't believe we're going this granular in
Gambit's
it.
menuing. Is Gambit? Oh, ah!
Oh! Peasants.
Gambit, no menu, only Zool. Go fight. Also, oh heck. So, by the way, since this is going in, get your Z flags in chat. No time to explain, but basically, we can't move Zeromus around. Z is too strong, but we have 526 characters that Z can turn into, but they don't turn into anything unless you ask one question. What was the question again?
Whose butt are we gonna kick tonight? There's no time!
I know, right? Do the thing! Do the thing! Oh my god!
Now Peasants is menuing! Peasants is going to get into the Z fight.
Someone time this! Right. As soon as it goes to the race screen, let's see what time it is. Oh my god, here comes Gambit! What is this?
This is incredible.
40-21.
Both runners putting on a heck of a show, doing different things at different times, getting different objectives, ending up in the same place 20 seconds apart.
Oh my god, really? It's 20 seconds apart! And the thing is, though, when you compare Reflect strats versus Zerk strats, Reflect strats tend to be faster.
Yes.
So the 20 seconds Gambit's behind doesn't really matter!
If it all depends if you can get that, skip that HP refill. Z's true colors are going to emerge.
I just saw some, with how fast Gambit was able to get to the crystal. That is amazing. Okay, who D-Machine? That's a big D-Machine. Why is that?
D-Machine mess. Neither runner stopped by the giant coming to us.
I didn't know that. I just thought it was a weird name.
Another fantastic sprite from our very own Scala Kitty. Gambit made up some time with the crystal at the top of the menu.
It's like D-Machine, social distant, please. But, okay. So we got a shake. I mean, what? Do you know what battle speed we're on even? Because Gambit got to the Who's butt quick, almost at the same time as Peasants did, even though they're 20 seconds behind.
Yeah, Gambit saved a lot of time by having the crystal at the top of the menu. Gambit getting Gambit going to do hybrid strats.
They both are. Oh my gosh.
And this is just a race to get as much damage out as possible. With the hybrid strats, Gambit not focusing on skipping the HP refill, or at least will have to count very carefully in order to do so.
Meanwhile, we did get to see our first big bangs, which weren't that big of a deal. They were nerfed. Fu was doing Fu things on Peasant's side, getting the Cure 4s out. There is so much HP on Peasant's side. This is bonkers. I mean, there's so much HP on both sides. Real talk here, but heck.
Gambit's first big bang is nerfed.
I mean, this could be as simple as who gets high rolls on their attacks, really.
Yes. Has Rydia's magic power, that nuke 6k, pretty good.
52 on that Crystal Sword shot. 8,000. Oh, jeez. This is close.
Both putting out a ton of damage.
You got rocks on Peasant's side.
Mediocres on Peasant's side. Z has 12,000 or less.
There it is!
That's it! Peasant
That's it!
finishes with a time of 1:43.54. And Gambit finishes right behind 1:44.02.
That is an 8
seconds.
seconds difference. Holy heck! Okay.
GG's to both. What a race! One of the closest finishes you're ever going to see. It just pedal to the floor. Excitement for that Z fight. Incredible.
Oh my gosh, that is so heckin' close. I mean, and just with the amount of divergence in the seed, that was just whew. But I will say that just for the record, again, this is close. There is going to be a retime just to make sure that everything is correct and these times are accurate. 3 seconds is an official tie, but with this closer race, we want to make sure that everything is right. So we're not going to have an official winner on this yet, but heck, both y'all are winners. And I say both y'all are winners because the comms booth just got really crowded. Not only do we have PeasantsOMFG in here, but we have Gambit017 as well. So hi, you two, and GG's.
Hey, thanks. GG. GG Gambit.
GG Peasants. That was a heck of a finish.
I was just watching, like, just at the end of the last 15 minutes after we finished. What happened? I have no. I know when I checked like Twin Hop and it not being pan or anything, I was very worried that I was going to lose that race.
Peasants.
You were going to use. I full cleared Earth, and as soon as the last Earth check came up with nothing, I was like, "Nope, I'm done." So I'm surprised to see how close that was.
Peasants, would you like to know where Pan was?
Oh, I know where pan is.
Okay.
It's the one check I didn't do.
I will say, out of curiosity, because we found this incredibly amusing. So that magma key, which led to the free hook, what were your thoughts when you checked that hook route?
It's annoying. I didn't want to go back.
I saw that. I'm like, very funny, Pancras. Very funny. We got 2 objectives on the hook route, and you gave us a magma key at the start. Great.
It was also like a turn your brain off Crystal Sword Cecil seed. So.
Oh yeah, that
know.
Crystal Sword ordeals was just hilarious. It's like, hey, you sat through the time to go through this all gauntlet. Here, have a reward.
It was nice.
The seed did open up very quickly for both of you with the Magma Key start with the Darkness Crystal early. Both of you stayed tight to the blue planet until the very end. Was that your plan all along, or did you get roped in by chains? Peasants, you can go first.
I wanted to stay on planet because I got past so early, I think, and that definitely makes it a bit nicer. And then also, yeah, I did every single chain. Like, what was it? Baron into Luca, into Earth, into whatever it was. It got me package or something. Not ideal. And but from what I've seen on Moon, Moon was even worse in reality though. but I mean, as far as key items go,
yeah, that was the most haunted required Moon I've ever seen. Because everything but the two we needed was down on the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the two that were required were essentially the closest ones to Earth if you go top down. So that was there were some cheeky checks in there for sure.
Yeah, I felt good starting Bahamut, and then obviously doing bottom up after that didn't actually end up mattering at all.
By the time I full cleared Earth and went up to the Moon, I'm like, I've got to go top down, because if I don't, there's absolutely no chance. So finding that pink tail at Cave Bahamut just was life-saving. I'm like, oh my gosh, I might still have a chance here. Let's go.
So you skipped LST entirely then?
Correct. I never even walked in. I never did the character check for LST. I found Forge on Earth, and Pinktail was go mode.
Oh man. I need to go back and rewatch this.
The other interesting things. I'm sorry, Gambit. The other interesting thing was the difference in your party composition. Gambit, you had a very mage forward setup, while Peasants went with the heavy hitters. Was that your plan heading into it, or what were your thoughts behind your party compositions?
That was mostly an on-the-fly decision. I was running around. I was like, okay, I haven't done a couple checks, but I've got 10 key items. Let's just go ahead and grind. I've got the 10 key items. 15 eggs will get Rydia up to nuke. And so I was just like, you know what? Let's just go with the hybrid strats. 2 new casters, Crystal Sword, Cecil, and Yang. That's a pretty decent party for endgame. Let's go with it. Especially knowing that, again, Octomam and Plague were down in Feymarch, and I hadn't done those yet. Those turned out to be big whammies, but doing the grind when I did was able to, hey, okay, let's just nuke Plague, nuke Octomam. We're done. Let's go.
And I know you mentioned looking forward to watching it back. Aside from a couple of spots, particularly close to the end, where you two pretty much got the crystal at almost the exact same time, maybe a second or two apart, there was some vast divergence between your two routes. So it's going to be really fascinating to see how wildly different things were, and then all of a sudden it's just like boop, it comes together perfectly.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a fun one to watch back, I imagine.
So I mean, with this race, like we said in chat, they're going to be doing a retime to make sure everything is just perfectly timed and everything's all set and squared. But still, what are you looking forward to for next week? I mean, are your prep methods going to be the same, or are you just going to kind of take a quick breather for a day and then get back on the grind?
I'll remember to check Sheila 1 in my next race. I think that's my prep for next week. I'm not feeling super well these past couple weeks or so I'm probably not going to be doing too much practice. Just going to chill and try and feel a bit better.
Yeah, I think I might rewatch this one just a couple of times, see what all optimizations I can make. But otherwise, it's like, okay, let's let this one kind of wash off for the rest of the week, and we'll deal with next week as it comes, depending on where in the field we end up having to be.
And I will say, we are going to be joined right now by our wonderful Night Mom Scala Kitty herself with some admin news and business for you.
thankfully, since I already knew this was going to be happening, haha, thank you, 15-minute delay, I was already going off and doing calculations and all that kind of stuff while you were doing the interview. And yes, the race bot times are indeed correct. I went back and I retimed the VODs very quickly, knowing exactly when both Gambit and Peasant started, and then comparing that timestamp to their finish timestamps. And the timestamps do exactly match the race bot times.
Good
So
to know.
So allow
uh,
us to offer our congratulations to Peasants for making brackets officially.
yes,
We've had
Hey. Thank you, and GG Gambit as well. Seriously, it's such a sick race. I'm so excited to watch it.
I can get back on the horse, and next week I need to make sure I pull out a win so I can join you and have a rematch.
Yeah.
I think I think I speak for all of us when I say we'd really look forward to that. So, wonderful. Anything else you want to say about this particular seed?
Not much about the seed itself. Honestly, it was I did the entire thing. I wish I didn't.
It started with a shopping world tour. It ended with a key item world tour. It's just
Yeah. I can't explain how bad I felt this start. I think it was I was like 12 or 13 minutes in. I have not even checked the key items location of that spot. I was just shopping for so long at the start of the game. Not good. Probably shouldn't do that.
Starting Magma Key makes you want to go underground, do all those checks, do all those nice loot.
Well, yeah, I started like with Magma Key, and I still didn't do Sheila once. So I mean,
well, I believe Peasants, you did your first objective without fighting a boss, and then you didn't have another objective for another hour.
Yep.
That sounds about right, the seed.
I mean, from everybody here, GG's again. That was a fantastic race. I mean, it start to finish, just amazing. So, again, GG's, congrats to Peasants. Welcome to the brackets. Gambit, you are a terrifying 3-2. So, good luck in your next race next week, and hopefully, we'll see you in brackets too.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the restream.
Second that. Thank you, Oscar and Chief Launcher for comms, Pancrabs for that wonderful seed, Scala for tracking and all the behind the scenes admin stuff. Thank you guys so much. This is gonna be fun to watch back again and again and again. So
yeah, ditto on that.
Yeah, and you'll get to hear so many pig puns.
Oh, I'm keen.
Oh boy.
I mean, they trusted us with the mic, so only. Well, no, Gambit, you trusted us with the mic.
I held no
right.
trust.
Gambit handpicked this team for his race, so best of luck to both of you the rest of the way, and GG's once again.
Thank you, GG's. So I would quickly shout out Woo Bear and Araya, my coaches, getting me to bracket, taking me there. I appreciate it, and and that's it.
Great, GG's to them as well, and congratulations again to PeasantsOMFG, the wonder from down under himself, clinching his place in the bracket rounds. Gambit, hard luck loser in this one, falls to 3-2, but still very much alive to make brackets. Just have to sweat it out another week.
That was amazing. I'm still in shock of all of that, but I will say it. I mean, it's been great fun, and of course, follow our runners, follow our wonderful behind the scenes team, follow Sheep Launcher himself. But there, that was pretty intense. So yeah, that took a lot out of everybody. So we are actually going to be signing off for the night. However, don't think that signing off means we're done with Free Enterprise. That's cute. No, we've got a whole bunch of amazing matchups tomorrow. Well, no, today, because time zones are weird and time and sleep. I don't know. But let's see. Starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time on RPG Limit Break, we have Big Dunka versus Mecha Link. At 8 p.m. on this channel, the Free Enterprise channel, we're going to have Castro versus Woo Bear. And then all the way at 10 p.m. Eastern on Randomania, we'll make sure which Randomania we'll be sending you to. We'll get that info out when we can. That is going to be Ike Klopfer versus Apex Corvid. So we've got 6 fantastic runners of this wonderful randomizer that we play. They'll be featured tomorrow or today. Again, words are hard. Or yesterday, if you live by Peasants, because Peasants is a time traveler from the future. But other than that, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, and those 3 matches, just want to say once again, all have bracket implications, either trying to advance to brackets or trying to stave off elimination. So those should be really incredible races. Another fun night of Free Enterprise. Want to thank once again our restreamer X Pancraz for bringing you this wonder seed, our tracker and re-timer Scala Kitty, and thanks Oscar424. That was a whole lot of fun.
Agreed. And again, thank you, Sheep Launcher, for being absolutely amazing. And yeah, but until then, I've got a comfy pillow calling my name.
And a dog calling your name.
And a doggo. But
Yeah,
until then,
so thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. And until next time, so long.
nighty night.